get solved is Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem.
Premier's office as well, these 25% export tariffs on Canadian electricity to 3 states, New York, Michigan, Minnesota, will happen.
Trump promised we'd be rich again with his tariff plan. Now $3.5 trillion in market value has vanished faster than his hairpiece in a wind tunnel. That's the worst trading week since COVID. Somehow he's still grinning like a rooster who thinks the sun rises because he crowed. I'm wondering if all those Make America Rich Again hats will come with a money-back guarantee, because while Trump's busy playing economic Jenga with the global markets, our allies are dumping US bonds like they're radioactive. Even Canada pulled out $37 billion. When the nice neighbors up north are running for the exits, you know the house is on fire. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. So remember when Trump promised his tariffs would make foreign countries pay? Yeah, about that. Turns out those countries don't just roll over and say, "You got us, Donald." They fight back. And guess who gets caught in the economic crossfire? That's right, regular Americans. Look at our auto industry. While Trump's busy bragging about winning trade wars, car manufacturers are bracing for a serious gut punch. We're not talking about a minor price bump here. We're talking potential increases of $1,000 to $3,000 per vehicle as parts get more expensive.
Elon Musk is warning the US government that American exporters could be harmed by countries retaliating against tariffs imposed by Donald Trump.
And where does that hit hardest? Places like Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana, the very heart of America's manufacturing belt. So much for protecting American jobs. And our neighbors aren't exactly thrilled either. Canada's response is basically, "Oh, you want to play hardball? How about we cut off your electricity?" That's right, Ontario supplies 10% of the power used across New York, Michigan, and the Northeast.
Where Doug Ford has announced he will begin charging 25% more for electricity shipped to 1.5 million Americans on Monday.
Imagine millions of Americans dealing with rolling blackouts because Trump thought tariffs were a brilliant idea. Nothing says America first like sitting in the dark while your ice cream melts.
Premier's office as well, these 25% export tariffs on Canadian electricity to 3 states, New York, Michigan, Minnesota, will happen.
Mexico's going even further, threatening to temporarily shut down the border. You think grocery prices are bad now? Just wait until all those fruits, vegetables, and meat stop flowing north. Your local supermarket shelves will look emptier than Trump's promise to release his tax returns. The human cost is already showing up. Take this Air Force veteran who served his country for 20 years and even voted for Trump 3 times. His reward? Getting laid off from his Pentagon job after just 9 months despite excellent performance reviews. As he put it, "I did. The consequences are becoming visible." That's the thanks you get for your loyalty, folks. A pink slip and a pat on the back. Even small business owners are feeling the squeeze. A Pennsylvania butcher explained it perfectly. The big chains get a lot of their beef from Canada and Mexico, and a 25% tariff would increase prices, which the consumer would pay. Translation: you're paying for Trump's tariff tantrum every time you buy groceries. So who's actually benefiting from this economic genius move? Not American workers watching their jobs vanish. Not consumers paying higher prices for everything from cars to steaks. Not even the businesses Trump claims to champion. The only winner is the government coffers getting fatter while your wallet gets thinner.
Very chaotic tariff policy that the president is putting in place and pretending that that will have benefits for American workers and American communities across the country.
While your wallet shrinks under tariff pressure, our supposed allies are making a financial statement louder than Trump at a campaign rally. The countries we've called friends for decades just dumped $261.7 billion in US debt faster than Trump abandons his old wives. This isn't countries being petty, it's the economic equivalent of your entire friend group blocking you on Instagram all at once.
Trump says tariff is his favorite word in the dictionary. But what happens when other countries start putting import taxes on American products?
The numbers are jaw-dropping. Brazil yanked $55.9 billion of our debt like it was pulling a bad tooth. Ireland, tiny Ireland, dumped $42 billion. Even polite little Canada pulled $37 billion from our economy. India and Norway each cut nearly $35 billion too. Even our biggest lenders, Japan and China, trimmed their holdings by $7.8 billion. That's not a gentle suggestion. That's our economic besties screaming, "We're breaking up with you." And why? They're terrified of Trump's America First tantrum, which promises higher tariffs and financial sanctions that threaten global stability. These countries aren't just mad, they're actively preparing for a future where they don't need America's financial system at all. They're moving towards safer assets like gold or the euro faster than Trump moves toward a McDonald's after a diet failure. Meanwhile, China's playing economic chess, while Trump's playing checkers. They control over 90% of rare earth production, essential materials for everything from solar panels to wind turbines to lithium batteries. Over 70% of consumer electronics in the US come from Chinese factories. So Trump's starting a trade war with the country that makes basically everything we use? Genius move, Donnie Diapers.
This approach that the president and his administration is taking shows just how quickly some of this tariff policy can get out of hand.
China has announced additional tariffs targeting the United States, and this is a response to the global tariffs.
The scariest part is what's happening to the almighty dollar. The US currency's share of global reserves has plummeted from 71% in 1999 to just 58% today. That's not a little dip. That's the financial equivalent of your house foundation cracking in half. China isn't waiting around either. They're increasing trade settlements in yuan with Russia, Brazil, and India, building an economic fortress where America isn't invited. And what's Trump's brilliant response to this international financial rebellion? He suggested Canada should become America's 51st state. This idiotic suggestion left global leaders calling him reckless and delusional.
Get solved is Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem.
Even Trump's own supporters were stunned by the sheer stupidity. Canada's Premier Doug Ford made it crystal clear, Canada will not be bullied.
Message to the U.S. You come and attack Ontario, you attack livelihoods of people of Ontario and Canadians. We're going to use every tool in our toolbox.
So here we are, waving goodbye to American farmers caught in the crossfire of Trump's brilliant economic strategy. Our agricultural industry, the backbone of rural America that overwhelmingly voted for the guy, is watching as China slaps retaliatory tariffs on soybeans, corn, and pork. Farmers are losing export markets faster than Trump loses lawyers. The America First slogan should really be America Isolated, because that's exactly what's happening.
With Chinese President Xi Jinping after imposing an even higher tariff of 125% on China.
This stop-and-go approach, but also this tit-for-tat retaliation back and forth with a lot of these different allies of the United States that are...
Our economic Jenga tower is wobbling dangerously, and the next piece Trump pulls might bring the whole thing crashing down. When the dust settles, we'll be left wondering if making America great again was worth destroying the economy we actually had.